me cute and sexy like that.
Center of attraction. So Mr. Mention, what's the position?
So when I moved to Kingston to start my music journey, I was whining so fast that the girls in the ghetto would say to me, yo, you can't go out with us unless you learn how to whine slow.
Who becomes the first female dancehall DJ to achieve international fame, then vanishes after a fraud arrest that shocked the music world? What if the woman who taught us to work the man was hiding secrets darker than anyone imagined? Before this ends, 2 revelations will stop you cold. The alleged assault by a famous R&B singer that nearly destroyed her, and the real reason she walked away from millions at the peak of her career. Stay locked in, because the Patra story isn't what you think it is. November 22, 1972, Kingston, Jamaica welcomed Dorothy Smith into a world that would soon witness her transform into Patra, the queen who would break every rule, shatter every ceiling, and redefine what a woman could do in the male-dominated world of dancehall music.
You know, I'm in demand right now. I'm in total control. I demand what I want. I'm a very aggressive person to situations.
But Dorothy's journey to stardom started in Westmoreland, Jamaica, where she was raised by extended family after losing her father at just 3 years old. Growing up with 4 brothers, she was the only girl, and those boys watched over her fiercely. They made her tough. They made her fearless. They made her understand that in a world designed for men to dominate, she'd have to fight twice as hard to claim her space. Her cousin gave her the name Cleopatra, shortened to Patra, a queen's name, a warrior's name, a name that promised power. In the late 1980s, when dancehall was exploding across Jamaica, Patra stepped into the arena as Lady Patra. She was young, raw, aggressive, and unapologetically sexual in her performances.
Me want give you some, me want wine and rock it down.
Her trademark move, the butterfly dance, was a gyrating grind that scandalized conservatives and electrified crowds.
Afterwards, when I got more mature and I realized that I'm singing and doing everything, I realized that I could insert those movements with what I'm also thinking in my head, because you can be butterflying, but you want to make sure that the butterfly match with that lyric part of it. You don't just butterfly. You have to know when to put that part in.
She wasn't asking for permission. She was taking what was hers. But being a woman in dancehall meant constant warfare. The industry was built by men, for men, controlled by men. Female DJs were novelties, sidekicks, decorations. Patra refused to be any of those things.
Only speak for himself. And of course, Shabba was also invited, and Shabba can also speak for himself. But for me, I have to reserve the right at all times to decline certain things, no matter how important it is, especially when it comes to the wrong message line and the whole heap of chaotic thing to get there. What I can say though, I was surprised that they would call me first.
She was loud, she was raunchy, she demanded respect. And slowly, grudgingly, she started getting it. Then in 1993, everything exploded. Shabba Ranks, already a massive star, featured Patra on a track called Family Affair. The song hit number 84 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1994, introducing American audiences to the Jamaican firecracker who sounded like no woman they'd ever heard before. Patra wasn't singing sweet love songs. She was commanding, aggressive, in total control. But Patra wasn't interested in being anyone's featured artist forever. Later in 1993, she released her debut album, Queen of the Pack. The title said everything. She wasn't just participating, she was leading the pack. The album hit number 1 on the reggae charts. The lead single, Think About It, peaked at number 21 on the Billboard Rap Singles chart and number 89 on R&B. But it was the second single that changed everything. Worker Man became a cultural phenomenon. The song climbed to number 53 on the Hot 100, top 20 on the R&B chart, and hit number 1 on the US dance chart. Patra was everywhere. MTV, BET, radio stations across America.
And of course, as for the BET thing, they're like family to me. They've been there for me from the start of my career. I know a lot of people from BET and all that stuff. However, from, I started over to taking over my career, I always like to speak for myself.
Queen of the Pack sold over 500,000 copies. The girl from Westmoreland, Jamaica, had conquered American charts. Her third single, Romantic Call, featuring rapper Yo-Yo, hit number 55 on the Hot 100 and number 21 on the dance chart. Patra had achieved something unprecedented. She'd made dancehall accessible to mainstream American audiences while maintaining her hardcore Jamaican authenticity. But success came with complications nobody saw coming. In 1995, Patra released Pull Up to the Bumper, a remake of Grace Jones's classic. The song peaked at number 60 on the Hot 100, number 21 on R&B, and number 15 on the dance chart. Her second album, Scent of Attraction, followed, reaching number 151 on the Billboard 200, number 28 on R&B hip-hop albums, and number 2 on the reggae charts. The album's title track, Scent of Attraction, featured R&B singer Aaron Hall and peaked at number 82 on the Hot 100.
I can tell the way you touch me. Touch me now.
Becoming her fourth top 40 R&B hit. But something happened during that collaboration, something Patra has never fully addressed publicly, but rumors have circulated for decades. Whispers in the industry suggested Aaron Hall sexually assaulted Patra during their working relationship. The alleged incident was never confirmed with physical evidence, never prosecuted, never publicly discussed by Patra herself. But people close to her say it changed everything. It soured her on the music business. It made her question whether the price of fame was worth what she was paying.
I'm not quite sure if it's about being upset, but I'm normally the type of person who likes to speak for myself. Because of all the things that I've been through with my career, I'm very kind of careful with the people who might come to me and say there's an opportunity somewhere and I should just jump at it.
Patra also appeared on the 1995 Panther movie soundtrack with Freedom, theme from Panther. A collaboration between leading urban female vocalists. She performed on CNC Music Factory's remix of Take a Toke that same year. She was everywhere, working constantly, building an empire. Then, she disappeared. Not completely, but enough that people noticed. After the deaths of Tupac Shakur and the Notorious B.I.G. in 1996 and 1997, Patra made a decision. She needed to step back. The violence, the chaos, the constant pressure. She needed time with her family. She needed to breathe. In 2003, after years away from the spotlight, Patra returned with her third studio album, The Great Escape.
Down the wrong avenue, down the wrong.
Preceded by the single, Pressure Me.
Pressure me, pressure me.
In 2004, she appeared on the Two Culture Clash project, featured on the lead single, How Do You Love with reggae artist Danny English. In 2005, she released her fourth studio album, Where I've Been, through independent label Wall Street Entertainment. The singles Mandem Thriller and Black Cinderella showed an artist who'd matured, evolved, but still maintained that aggressive sensuality that made her famous. But then came April 2005, and the scandal that would nearly destroy everything Patra had built. Patra was arrested on fraud charges in Montego Bay. The accusation was devastating. She'd allegedly defrauded 10 musicians of a total of 138,000 Jamaican dollars by promising to secure UK visas and social security cards for a fee. The visas and cards never materialized. Artists who'd trusted her, who'd given her their money believing she had connections and power to help them achieve their dreams, were left empty-handed. The arrest made headlines across Jamaica and the Caribbean. The queen of the pack, the woman who'd conquered American charts, was being accused of scamming struggling artists. She was released on bail, but the damage to her reputation was catastrophic. Patra has always maintained that the situation was more complicated than reported. She suggested that jealousy played a role, that people in the industry wanted to bring her down, that she was a target because of her success and independence. She's hinted that the wrong messengers and industry politics created a situation that spiraled beyond her control. But the fraud charges were real, the arrest was real, and the aftermath was brutal. After the scandal, Patra stepped away from music again. This time, she focused on her spiritual life. She became more connected to God, more introspective about her choices and her career. She also did something remarkable. She went back to school and completed a bachelor's degree in history and political science. The woman who'd been too busy conquering charts to finish formal education went back and earned her degree. While her peers were releasing albums and touring, Patra was in classrooms, studying, learning, evolving into someone beyond the worker man girl everyone remembered. In 2012, she signed with Vielstein Music, and began working on her 5th studio album. She released a buzz track, Bad in a Bed, followed by the single Come Over, featuring Deluce, which premiered in June 2012. The music video dropped on YouTube in August 2012. In 2013, she released Sweet Reggae Music, and on February 18, 2014, her album Patra the Continuation was released. The project showed an artist reclaiming her narrative, refusing to let scandal define her legacy. But Patra's relationship with fame has always been complicated. In 2013, when BET wanted her to participate in a reggae tribute alongside Shabba Ranks and other dancehall legends, she declined. Beanie Man publicly stated that both Patra and Shabba turned down the opportunity, but Patra later clarified that the situation was more nuanced.
You did decline, didn't you?
I did not decline, I just didn't do it because the wrong channel.
She explained that the request came through the wrong messenger, people she'd worked hard to distance herself from, people who represented the chaos and exploitation she'd fought to escape. For Patra, protecting her peace and maintaining control over her career was more important than any performance, no matter how prestigious.
But for me, I have access that I can always have the opportunity to go back to BET. Now I'm coming out with a new record, and everything been structured in a different way. And because I've done so much work with BET throughout the years, they're not ones to hold grudge in certain ways because they know a lot of artists, especially.
So there will be new opportunities.
There's always
BET
opportunities.
She's turned down numerous opportunities over the years, not because she's difficult or irrelevant, but because she refuses to be controlled. She's performed for the president of Nigeria in Africa. She's maintained an international career on her own terms. She just refuses to hustle for people who don't respect her boundaries. Patra has always made a distinction that confuses people. She insists she's not a dancehall artist. She's an artist who happens to be Jamaican and makes various types of music. She loves dancehall, respects the legends like Shabba Ranks, Bounty Killer, and Beanie Man, but she refuses to be boxed into one category. This refusal to be labeled has sometimes worked against her. The industry loves categories. Radio stations love formats, but Patra has always been about crossing boundaries. Reggae, dancehall, R&B, pop, whatever served the song and her artistic vision. At 52 years old in 2024, Patra remains active but selective. She performs when and where she chooses. She still maintains her trademark sensuality and confidence. Her net worth is estimated between $1 and $3 million, not the tens of millions some of her peers accumulated, but money earned on her own terms without selling out or compromising her values. She never married, though she's had long-term relationships. She has no children, a choice she's made consciously to maintain control over her life and career. She's watched other female artists struggle to balance motherhood and music industry demands, and she's chosen a different path. Patra's legacy is complicated. She's not streaming billions like modern artists. She's not touring stadiums, but she opened doors that didn't exist before. She showed that a woman could be aggressive, sexual, in control, and successful in dancehall without being a man's accessory. Lady Saw, Spice, Shensia, every female dancehall artist who came after Patra owes something to her. She took the hits, faced the backlash, dealt with the double standards, and proved it could be done.
The fraud scandal in 2005 could have ended her career permanently. Many artists never recover from that level of public disgrace, but Patra understood something crucial. She didn't owe anyone an explanation. She knew her truth, and she refused to perform remorse for a situation she felt was misunderstood and manipulated by people with agendas. Whether the fraud charges were legitimate or politically motivated industry sabotage remains debated. Patra has never fully addressed the specifics publicly, preferring to let her continued work speak for itself. What's undeniable is that Patra revolutionized dancehall music. Worker Man, Romantic Call, Pull Up to the Bumper, Think About It, and Scent of Attraction aren't just songs. They're cultural markers that defined an era when Jamaican music broke through to American mainstream consciousness in unprecedented ways. She appeared in documentaries showcasing dancehall culture. She performed at hedonism resorts in Jamaica for tourists. She traveled to Washington, D.C. for Black entertainment television appearances. She walked the line between maintaining her hardcore Jamaican authenticity and making herself accessible to international audiences. The alleged assault by Aaron Hall, if true, represents an industry secret that protected powerful men while silencing women. Patra's reluctance to discuss it publicly doesn't mean it didn't happen. It means she chose not to let it define her or give her abuser more power over her narrative. The woman who grew up in Westmoreland with 4 protective brothers, who lost her father at 3, who fought her way into a male-dominated industry and conquered it, that woman learned early that sometimes survival means keeping certain truths close to your chest. Patra still lives primarily in Jamaica, specifically in Montego Bay, about a half-hour from where her mother lives in the western part of the island. She cooks, which she considers a hobby alongside music. She values quiet, privacy, and control over her schedule and her life. She's not chasing trends or trying to recapture past glory. She's simply being Patra. Sensual, natural, spiritual, and fiercely independent. The industry wanted to break her. The scandal should have destroyed her. The alleged assault should have silenced her. But the queen of the pack doesn't break.
You are still, remember, you still have your fan base out there.
I'm the
People
queen
wanting you, calling you.
Yeah, and I'm the queen of the pack.
Queen of
Period.
the pack.
Exactly. So it's very simple. There's nothing to compete against, or anyone don't need to compete against.
She bends, she adapts, she steps back when necessary, but she never breaks.
To do what they're doing, because I've worked hard to gain what I'm trying to expand on here. So for me, it's not a show-off thing or a joke thing. For me, it's a business.
Okay.
So I'll approach it that way.
And somewhere in Montego Bay, with her degree in history and political science, with her spirituality intact, with her boundaries firmly established, Patra continues to live life exactly how she wants.